and bring somebody with you. And then the following Wednesday night now is when we begin our Wednesday night Bible studies on the King James Bible. This is the 400th anniversary of the Bible in April. Isn't it crazy? It came out in April of 1611. And that's when we're having our youth rally. So we're going to definitely be doing something in the month of April. I had a bunch of people ask me about this video this morning. So what I'm going to do tonight, we're going to slow it down just a little bit, go into more detail about the Jerusalem UFO that happened about 2 weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago now, and it has created an avalanche of controversy on the internet. And I'm going to show you another clip, another angle of it tonight, and give you a man's point of view on it. And there's every time something like this happens, there's always a bunch of people saying, oh man, I believe this, I believe that. And everybody's got their opinions. And every time there's a UFO sighting, you've got these people that are what we call debunkers. Debunkers are people who immediately get up and say, it was the planet Venus, it was a helicopter, it was this, and that. Before they ever even investigate it, they'll say that. And listen carefully. People who are really in the know in this field, and you know, I've studied this for years. This is sort of a side hobby of mine, studying UFOs. I've always, remember 13, 14 years ago, I've done that video presentation at our tent meeting in Marion, and man, we was ahead of the times, I'm telling you. It stirred up World War III. They was putting stuff in the newspaper about me. We had boys ready to fight. Preachers was calling me. And then later on, a few years later, people said, man, you know all that stuff you was talking about UFOs? That stuff's happening. And it is. And you know why? You know how I know that? Because we look at it through the Bible. Now, a debunker is somebody who comes up and says, oh, that's the military. That's our military with their advanced technology. Listen, if our military has technology that can do what them things do, it's a crime to hold back that progress from the general population. If they can disappear and zigzag through the sky and make right angle, the G-force in those turns, like you're going to see this thing, would kill a human being. You can stand the G-force. You can only stand so much. So there might be a genius in here. Brother Joe might know how much G-force a human body can stand. That means if you're going this way and you turn a curve that way, if it's too much, your guts will come out, won't they, or something? What happens to you? Huh? It just, I don't know, you smash or something. Because your body keeps wanting to go, and the thing going this way. These things can make right angle turns, brother, in the sky. Like that right there. Yeah, just like in the movies. And as a matter of fact, they say that some of the debunkers are hired by the government to debunk it. And every time there's a UFO case, there's immediately black helicopters come out of nowhere and follow them things across the sky. And they're the black budgets. You've heard of the Men in Black? There really is such a thing. Every movie they make, Independence Day, what's that guy's name? Will Smith? All them movies they made, that's a pattern after the real thing. But to make the general population think, it's fiction. But they got that from somewhere. That stuff's real. There really are Men in Black. Really are. They're real. They have black helicopters, black Cadillac, clothed in black, and they all show up. They have no markings on them whatsoever. If you saw one of these helicopters, you wouldn't see any markings on them. They don't say U.S. military, Air Force, nothing like that. Solid black. Our country has a black budget. If you don't believe that, you get Dr. Ruckman's book back there called Black is Beautiful. He talks about it on there and about all the black budget. Billions of dollars every year and not accountable to nobody. Did you know that we have a big part of the government that the president and stuff don't even have no control of, and some of them don't even know it exists? You've heard of Area 51, you've heard of all that stuff. But let's talk about this just for a minute. And I want to slow this down. And just you say, it's somebody with a flashlight. These are about 4 different views of this UFO that came down and hovered over the Temple Mount, one of the most sacred places on earth. They say that's where Muhammad went up. He didn't. He didn't go up. But that's what they believe. It was right here, and it hovers over the dome of the mount, and then it shoots straight up in the sky. Now, if it's fake, here's a guy who shows you in this clip that I'm going to show you tonight how that you can show that it's not. And there's nobody on the internet can disprove what this fellow's saying. Nobody. All right? Get me the lights back there, somebody. Just lower them all, and we'll have volume on this blue one, Brother Mike. Turn me off just for a second. And then you can adjust the volume. You can see in this clip how that the light shadows are on the Temple Mount. That's one of them round ones on the far left that's still on there. It would be the one on the right of the far left round ones. Brother Ray, there you go. That's it right there. All right. Let's watch just a little bit of this. Look at that popcorn. Give me a little volume now, brother.
Hello and welcome to my analysis of the recent appearance of a UFO at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem.
Now, for you that wasn't seeing it this morning, that's it right there. There's the Temple Mount right there at the corner of my remote control, and there's the light above it. The Bible said Satan himself is transformed as an angel of light. Satan represents light. Lux, Lucifer, that's what Lucifer means. L-U-C, Lucifer, lumens, light.
Now this analysis will pay particular attention to the light emanations from the light source or the UFO itself. Okay, now at the moment we are looking at a clip of the flash, particularly the flash which many of you will already have recalled seeing of the...
It flashed a big flash of light and then shot straight up in the sky. Now here's what's going to prove to it. You're going to see on all these buildings around here that light flash on them, proving it couldn't be a flashlight or somebody with a laser or something like
UFO.
that.
Now I've slowed it down. What I'd like you to do is pay close attention to the reflective properties emanating in and around the light source. You'll see that they are very consistent. If you look particularly at the buildings and in particular the temple itself, you will see that everything is very consistent. The amplification and the reflection of the light source is consistent with the amplitude of the light source and the flash. Now I'd like you to focus your eyes on the temple, the round temple dome. You'll see that the increase in brightness reflects the increase in brightness of the light source or the flash. Okay, now I'm going to slow it down even further, frame by frame. Now again, I want you to look at the temple and
look at that right there. When the flash happens, every building down there gets lighter. So if it was a fake or a flashlight or something, it would only be right there at the camera. Can you understand that?
See that it does indeed reflect the light source's reflection according to the amplitude. This, I think, is very convincing of a source that is actually there, hasn't been superimposed, hasn't been created by CGI, etc., etc. In fact, all the buildings around, if you look towards the edge of the light source, the very kind of outer edge of the area that it covers, again you'll see that the area that it covers increases and decreases exactly according to the amplitude of the flash burst. So now we're going to again slow down the frame rate and look at the departure of the, I'll refer to it as the Angel of Jerusalem. Now again, I want you to look at the mount or the dome as a frame of reference. Now you'll see when we slow this down frame by frame, as the light source departs, you will see that the light reflection on the dome diminishes according to the distance of the light source. So
can you understand what he's saying? What he's saying is, as the light goes up, it dims down over the city. So if it was a fake, it was somebody in there shining light over that whole city, shooting up 200 miles an hour straight up.
As it departs, you'll see that the reflection there diminishes accordingly for each of those 3 and 4 frames. You'll see the lights slowly diminish, not only from the dome but from the surrounding area accordingly. Okay, now we're going to take a closer look at the light source itself. Now using editing software, I've enhanced the original footage to clearer show the fluctuations or the flame-like emanations from the light source. Now in my opinion, to create this frame by frame, this kind of flame effect, if you look very closely at the kind of wing-like aspect of the source, you'll see the little triangulations, the little fluctuations. Now to create that using, say, a computer would be...
Okay, now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to back it back up there and let you see just a little bit of that one that we saw this morning, where this is a woman from the United States, had a video camera on it. There's 4 different videos at least, people from different countries that don't even speak the same language, of the same thing. They put the videos all together and compare. There's on YouTube, you can see them side by side and watch it go up at the same time. I ain't got time to show you all these, but watch this one. Different angle. Different angle.
A UFO hovers over one of the holiest sites in Islam, the Dome of the Rock on the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, the spot where the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven, built on top of a site sacred to Judaism.
I've got other video at home, a bunch of videos where they look just like that, just exactly like it. Looks like it's going around like that, a bunch of them, and they're like balls of light. How many of you heard of the rock group Foo Fighters? Raise your hand. Foo Fighters. That's what that means. That's what that means. Foo means fire in Germany, and in the war, they said these balls of light, just like that, flew along beside their airplane, and they didn't know what to call them. They called them Foo Fighters. And that's where that rock group got their name. Isn't that weird? Isn't it weird how all they're connected up in their heads, they connect themselves with this stuff? Isn't it weird how that Benjamin Creme, the spokesman